Good morning. Looky there, you're back in my kitchen again. Well, it's almost the weekend, a special weekend. What is it? 4th of July weekend, where usually people have, an extra day off, Independence Day. And I am very proud to be an American, land of the free, home of the brave. And today, I'm doing making two things in my video for special people that asked me to do this because they're having a pool party for over the weekend, initiating their new pool. So I thought I would share my video with you to show you two really simple little treats that you can put together that are going to be amazing for a crowd of people. And that's what I'm going to do today. I have some of my little decorations set out. Of course, I found the little chicken. Hope he doesn't fall over. Oh, well, I had everything set just right, and then I touch it and it falls all to pieces. Story of my life. Anyway, doing the red, white, and blue. My cookbooks are still out. If you would like to order one, please do. Go to my website, www.cookingwithcaroldiane.com, and you can purchase my cookbooks. And I would really appreciate that. I am very much liking everyone coming into my kitchen and watching me make a video. I'm grateful that you keep coming back and that you want to buy one of my cookbooks. So keep that up, okay? So again, today I'm going to make two different things. So one I'm going to start with is what I call just a fruit trifle. Now, a trifle, what is the difference between a trifle and a parfait? Well, they both have layered effects of using food. Only a parfait, you would put in a little long glass goblet, whereas a trifle, you use a bowl, a glass bowl, usually one that you can see through and usually one that has a pedestal on it, of which, yes, I do have. This is my trifle container that I'm going to be using. But the very first thing before I get started on what I'm going to be putting all in here is to make a homemade custard. And that I'm going to make first, as soon as I let my little puppy dog out that's barking. And we'll jump on over to my stove right quick, so let's do that. Okay, I'm over here at my stove area where I normally make all kinds of things. And this morning we're going to make just a simple little custard to go in this trifle. And what you need to start with is some warm milk. So you take 2 cups of milk and pour that into any kind of pan. And you want to have this get hot, yes, but you don't want it to scald, to burn, to boil. You don't want any of that. You just want to get it hot. You're going to add some flavoring. I'm going to take, I'm going to take about 2 teaspoons, maybe not even that much. The more flavoring that you put in it, the sweeter it is going to be. So I made this a couple of days ago for a vanilla wafer dessert. I'll go 1.5. And I did use my Madagascar vanilla, and it made it quite sweet. It really did. Okay, so while that's getting nice and hot, and that's what you want it to do, nice and hot, but not boiling, then you're going to take 4 eggs, and we need the yolks of the eggs. So just take your egg, break it in 2, get the whites out, put them in a separate bowl, because what we're after are the egg yolks. So there's 1, 2, 3. These are quite large, and they want you to use large eggs. They really do. Use some large eggs. If you can find them in the grocery store. Things are kind of limited again on things. Still haven't found a farm someplace that's got some eggs for me. I'm on the hunt for that, I really am. Okay, there's the 4 egg yolks. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take the egg yolks and I'm gonna put them over here in a separate bowl, because I've gotta mix some more things with this. And we'll get out another whisk here and kind of get those just broken up just a little bit. Not whipped, but just broken up. And to that, my cheat sheet here, you're gonna take 2/3 of a cup of sugar and put in here. It's be a little humid in my kitchen this morning. And then you're going to take some cornstarch, and you're gonna need 1/4 of a cup of cornstarch. Any brand, doesn't matter. Just 1/4 of a cup cornstarch. I got enough there. Yep. Put that in there. And you're going to need 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Put that in there. Now, kind of whisk that up just a little bit. It's not going to blend like what you think. Get the rubber spatula here and do it a little bit better. And again, keep your eye on your milk, because you don't want it to scorch. I'm going to turn mine down just a little bit more, in fact. Right down. Just a little bit here. Not quite ready for you yet. A homemade custard is so much better. I mean, you can buy the regular just vanilla pudding to put on this. But I think the custard makes it richer tasting. So that's what I'm going with this morning. Get that just blended just enough in there that now when I add my milk to it, which I'm going to slowly add the milk to it. Apologize for my sniffles. I've had kind of a head cold, and I always get something during the summer, whether it's allergies, sinus infection, whatever. I seem to get it, and I got this one, that's for dang sure. Left me with a bad cough, and I'm trying to get over it, I really am. And I wasn't gonna do a video, but when I'm especially asked by family to do this for their pool party, it's like, okay, I'll get this done for you. Okay, so I've added that in there now, mixed it all around so that my sugar, cornstarch is a thickening agent. But now we're gonna put it back in this pan right here, because we're gonna cook this a little bit more. We want this to thicken up. And to do that, we have to get it back on the heat, which is about right there. I'll clean up my mess here. That off of there while that's cooking. One thing nice about my glass stovetop is it's so easy to clean up things. You know, it just, a little wipe and it's done. I like that. Okay. Keep an eye on it here. You're also going to need some butter. But not just yet. Not just yet. So again, if you'd watched my video on making the homemade chocolate pie, this is very similar to that in the aspect that you are cooking your pudding mix, your custard mix. And that's what I'm doing here. until it gets thickened. Thickened, 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 but not boiling. I like to make different things. I really do. I like to make, oh gosh, I have made so many different things for parties. Get that off my, different things for parties and things that I was going to make this small trifle just to have for 4th of July. But then when my son's girlfriend texted me that she'd really like something festive for this party, I said, okay. Okay. Been drinking a lot of just lemon water. Or not lemon, I mean honey. Honey water for my throat. It's working on calming down, but boy, was it scratchy for several days. Okay, and again, we just want to get this where it is thick, like a pudding would be, but it's not a pudding, it's a custard. You're gonna need some fruit. I'm using 2, maybe 3 different kinds of fruit for my trifle. Once you get this made, then you're gonna put it in a bowl and put it in the refrigerator and let it completely cool down before we start making the trifle of the layered effect. It's kind of important to have your custard cooled, and we will. I'm gonna now add a good tablespoon of butter to my custard. That gives it a nice rich flavor. It's starting to get just a little bit thick here on me. Not quite yet though. And everybody kind of prepares their custard a little bit different than what I do. But it's all gonna come out. It's all gonna come out. It is getting a little bit thicker. I said the one that I made 2 days ago was perfect to perfection. This one's taking just a little bit longer, but that's all right. It's sure getting there fast. Once those little bubbles go away, and yes, once you add the, there we go. You can just tell by stirring it. You really can. Let's see where my rather rubber spatula went on to. Okay, now we're gonna pour this into the bowl. It's gonna go in here. It's pretty warm. And it's just a real pretty, oh, like a lemon color. Soft chiffon color is what it really looks like. Soft chiffon. I can say it right this morning. Okay. And again, we're just gonna let that cool in the refrigerator. I'm gonna pop back on. I'll be over at my counter and I'll show you how to put all this together in that cute little bowl for a nice summertime treat. So I'll catch you in a few. Okay, second part to my video here of showing you what to put together now to be put in this bowl right here, which is a trifle little bowl. And again, if you don't have one of these, take any kind of a see-through bowl. If it doesn't have the little fluted bottom to it, that's okay, as long as you can see through it, because you want to see the layers. That's what it's all about. Now, a true English trifle, when they're using, whether it's a yellow cake mix, whether it's a pound cake, whether it's what I'm going to use of a store-bought angel food cake, they soak theirs in some alcohol, whether it is brandy, sherry, white wine, or a little bit of rum. I thought I had some regular rum in the house, but I guess I used it all up making something, I don't know what. I do have a little bit of rum extract, which I may sprinkle on this, and that'll give it a good flavor. So we're cheating just a little bit on the cake that I didn't make a yellow, from scratch, yellow cake mix, but that's okay. My trifle bowl isn't a large one. It's really not. And so I'm just gonna go with this. So little prep work to get your trifle ready while that custard is cooling in the refrigerator. So take your angel food cake, get it out of the pan. There you go. Out of the pan. And then we're gonna cut this up into little chunks. So just take it. Doesn't really matter how you do it, as long as you get little chunks, and we want them about the size of, like that. Like a breadcrumb would be if you were doing stuffing, only just a little bit bigger than stuffing. Because this is gonna go in that bowl. If I had wanted to do this really nice, but I was really kind of pressed for time. I mean, usually this girl doesn't give me much notice when she wants something. And I would have probably done a homemade angel food cake for her. With still, yes, the custard. I still would have done the custard. Instead of using a vanilla pudding. There's all different kinds of truffles. There really is. And like I said, the English, they didn't come up with and perfect this. Actually, the Scottish did. Clear back, they were making trifles clear back in the 1500s. Yeah, look it up, I did. Clear back in the 1500s, they were making these good desserts. And they weren't all just about fruit like this. There's chocolate layered ones. There's all kinds of different trifles. There really is. Again, that's just what the basics of getting it started is this. That you're going to just cut it all up. Now I'm using in my bowl today, we're going to have some blueberries. I'm going to try to still keep with the theme of 4th of July in having the red, white, and blue. So I'm doing blueberries. I do have some raspberries, some strawberries, and I will be putting a layer of coconut in mine. Just a little extra. Just a little extra. Okay, so get this all done. I've got a pan over here that I'm going to be putting the cake part in. I want to make sure I get these pretty evenly cut up here. Okay, so now we're going to put them all in this pan right here. Right here. Angel food cakes are very sticky. They really are. Sticky, sticky. Sticky, sticky. Get my mess cleaned up. Clean up as I go. Remember, that's me. I have to clean up as I go. Okay, so there's the cake part in there. And again, I have some rum extract, which is just a flavoring. It smells like rum. Yep, it does. And I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of that on there and hope that it gives the same, give it a good little toss here, and hope that it gives it kind of like if I had the real thing of rum. Okay. Now, it's pretty potent, let me tell you. Almost as potent as that red onion the other day when I made that salad. Oh my gosh. Or that, what was it? It was salsa. It was the strawberry and pineapple salsa. And let me tell you, I didn't get to tell you afterwards, but I did go out on my back patio, and I had that with chips. And the longer that you let that salsa stay in the refrigerator and just kind of marinate in its own juices, oh wow, it's pretty good. It really is. Okay, so now we are going to, like I said, do just a little bit more prep work. Just waiting for that custard to get cooled down. I want to have, I got really large, somehow I got really large strawberries here. It's all that was in the store. But I do want to save out one over here. That one I save. Cut off the tops, each top. And then this little handy little guy that I have shown you before does all the work for me, that I just put it in, and then it's gonna do, see, all these nice little slices for me. And that's what I want. I want a whole bunch of these, which I'll put in this little bowl right here, because I have to do some layering until I'm with it today. Layering. And I just really like this, that it just does it all for me. I don't have to chop it. We'll see what a big one does. Fits in there and does. Should. Big ones you might have to help along just a little bit here. I think it did it. Yep. It did it. These are quite large strawberries, they really are. So whether you're going on a picnic, having a backyard barbecue, pool party, going camping, whatever you're doing, just try to remember what Independence Day is really all about. Because I think every now and then we forget that on these holidays. We just get carried away with, oh my gosh, it's a free day, in other words, of one more day, extra day that you have off when you're working. Because I'm pretty semi-retired, I don't think about that anymore, that, oh my gosh, I get that extra day off to do, you know, whatever I want to do, when it really should be celebrating our freedom and being proud to be an American. If you have a flag, go put it out. If you didn't get to the cemeteries, you know, for the loved ones or whoever, on Memorial Weekend, 4th of July weekend is a real good weekend to do that. Dress up in your red, white, and blue. Show your spirit of being a proud American. Because like I said, we are land of the free, home of the brave. We have a lot of freedom in the United States of America. Other countries don't have. And I think take that for granted every now and then. Another big one. Okay, so I'm going to stop here a minute because I have to go get one other item out of my refrigerator in there. And then I'll show you how we're going to assemble this trifle that anybody can make. And they're so much fun and good. They're delicious. They really are. So I'll be right back. Okay, are you ready for the assembly? I am. I went back and looked at the last part of my little video when I had to stop to go get something out of the refrigerator. And I said something crazy again. I don't know. I said truffle instead of trifle. And it was on my brain last night when Christina was talking to me that she was going to make some truffles for a barbecue that they're doing on Sunday. Okay, so I had that on my brain, I guess, and it just popped out of my mouth like things do. But this is a trifle that we're making today. Okay, so now I'm going to take just a thin little spray here of cooking spray. And I'm gonna go on my bowl. And I'm just gonna kind of wipe it down because I don't want things to stick. I don't want, and yet I want it to be where you can still see through of all the goodies, which you'll be able to do. But you just want that little extra helping hand of getting stuff out. You really do. Okay, so layering effect. Let's take our strawberries, now that they're individually cut. We'll see if that sticks. Now that I've put that in there. Might have to wipe just a little bit more off, I don't know. And we're gonna go around the bowl like this with the strawberries, once I get them kind of stuck in there. Yeah, I'm gonna wipe some more out with the paper towel. Hang on just a minute. Thought it was a good idea. Really did. I think that was a good idea, but sometimes that spray gets out just a little bit more than what I want. I have two different kind of cooking sprays, and this one that goes like this, I don't normally like to use because that's what it does. It just, all right, we'll go with this. You've got to make the strawberries stick to the side of the bowl, because this is the pretty part about the layering. Try to get the largest of your strawberries on the bottom here first. That's kind of what I'm after. Getting them. This is going to be so much fun. And the nice part about this is the presentation. Everything's about presentation, especially at some pool party. You've got all these people and you want to show off your recipe of whatever you've made, and you want it to look nice. All right, little one. You're not sticking up there very well, are you? Well, to help it along, I'm going to add my cake mixture at the bottom and kind of push that up and make that stick. There we go. There we go. That kind of helped it along here so that they stay in place. There we go. Anyway, you want things to look real pretty and nice. This is, oh, I can smell that rum. Yeah, I can smell that rum in there right now. They're gonna get a big kick out of this. I wish it had been the real thing. In fact, I did ask her if she had anything like that to bring it over, and before she goes to work early in the morning, just drop it off on my doorstep. I think she forgot. I really think she forgot. Because usually she's right on that. Okay, so the bottom part is done as far as that part. Looks kind of pretty, doesn't it? Yes, it does. Okay, so now we want to take some Cool Whip. If you wanted to do this the proper way, which if I'd had more time, like I said, I would have done the real homemade angel food cake. I would have started with that. Yes, I would have done the custard. And yes, then I would have done real whipping cream. But again, you don't have to do all that when everything nowadays is already ready for you. It really is. So here comes the layering effect that we put in the cake on the bottom, the whipped cream. Just get a good amount in there. And yeah, you're coming all the way to the side of the bowl with it. Here. I would choose a large container of Cool Whip or 2 small ones. Like I said, it's all in what you have at your grocery store because so many things are not there right now. They're just not there. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my coconut. I keep my coconut in my refrigerator, in the freezer part, so that I always have some on hand and it keeps it real fresh. If I know I'm making a bunch of things with coconut, then I'll go ahead and just put it in the refrigerator part. But you can freeze coconut. Now I'm going to take my custard, and I didn't show this and I apologize for not showing it to you. Anytime you're making any kind of a pudding or custard and you want to keep it in your refrigerator and get it cold, put the layer of saran wrap on top of it and make sure it's all the way down on the custard. And that way you won't get that hard film. Okay, so here's our custard now that I'm going to be putting the layer of it all across in here. I'm hoping I have enough blueberries. I bought a large thing of blueberries, but for the top that I'm making, it is going to take quite a few. Like I said, there's all different kinds. You can make a peach trifle that would be very good. Very, very good. Just make sure you have it covered like that. Okay, now I'm going to take the color part because we've got the red, we've got a little bit of white going on, and now we're going to go with the blueberries. So take your blueberries, and with this, you pretty well, you know, just want them around the sides here. We'll see. Said I want to be sure and have enough for my top. I really do, but I think I will. I think I will. Doesn't this look yummy already? Doesn't this look festive already? Yeah, you'll be a big hit if you take this to any party. You really will. Some of these are a little large, some are small. Doesn't matter. Just want to make sure you're getting them all around the bowl to look real pretty. And it will. And because this isn't a parfait in individual glasses, you just dig in with a great big spoon and dish it out into, you know, I think I'm going to have enough to coat. Just put a light layer all around here of the blueberries. Then I'm going to take more of my cake mixture, stick it on all around. Way down in there. Sticky, sticky cake. And some Cool Whip. Already looking pretty again, isn't it? Yep. Already looking pretty. Make sure that you come to the edge of your bowl. It's very important. That way everything's gonna stick together. And see, it won't take very much with my small trifle bowl that I can get in all the mixture down in there. Just kind of go along and make sure. Turn your bowl, make sure all of it is down in. She does. It's up to you if you want to mix or match. I think I am going to go ahead and start with some more strawberries up here, just to give it a little bit more color. Slippery little things. They really are. I'll show you here. Make sure that's down on the glass. Doesn't have to be perfect. It'll still come out and look good and be good. It really will. There's a big one. These are quite large. You're gonna like this. I take things over to my son's house and I just get that shake of the head, you know? Your kids ever do that with you? Like, oh, Mom. I'm not really sure if it's an approval look or if it's a disbelief look or what it is. Oh, Mom. I don't know. Okay. We'll go ahead with our coconut. All in here. I like coconut. I really do. I like it on all kinds of different things. And go back to our good custard. Get that in there. Custard going. Pretty festive, isn't it? I said if it wasn't for 4th of July, you could do these trifles year-round for whatever you wanted to make and do it for. We'll get the last little bit there. Set that aside. And we'll go ahead with some more of the whipped cream here. I did forget. So I had the raspberries. The raspberries that I bought look like this, and they're big. The raspberries that I pick off of my raspberry bushes look like this. Now, what's the difference? Taste. More than anything, taste. So you know what? I think in between here, and I certainly can add more blueberry, and I will be adding more of the blueberries, but if you didn't have blueberries and you wanted to add blackberries, you could do that. I'm adding my darker. The longer you leave them on the bush, the darker they get. So when they have picked these, I mean, these are nice, great big ones, but they're very light in color. And mine, the longer you leave them, like I said, on that bush, better tasting there. Very, very good. I am so pleased that my raspberry bush multiplied. I thought it would take quite a while, quite a few years, in fact. But it didn't. It took off in this heat down here. It took off and did just fine. And I'm real pleased about that. Okay, there's that part. Now on top, I wanted to do the being patriotic. I really did. Let's see here. You know, I think I'm gonna go ahead with the rest of my cake. I think I will, because I have some left here, quite a bit. I wanna make this, I wanna get it as full as I can. as I can here. It's nice cake. Just make sure all of your little holes, in other words, are filled. All in there. Do have to add more whipped cream now. That's why I say be sure and get you a large container of the Cool Whip. Or if you're making it homemade, make sure you have enough to do this. Because that's what you need. Make sure you've got enough to go around. And I do. Look at that. Looking pretty yummy, huh? Now, because like I said, I want it to be patriotic in the day, 4th of July, all of that. I'm going to, what I did was, I laid out a sheet of parchment paper, and I turned this bowl upside down, and I drew a circle, and then I made the star. And so the star is just a pattern. It's just a pattern that I'm going to put on here in a minute for my blueberries. So now I'm going to take the blueberries and outline so I know where they're going. Some of mine are quite large here. The blueberries. I think if you put them in sideways, not just flat, then you'll know the design of what you're at. And then I'll be lifting that pattern off. I just want to get the outline first. Or you can freehand it. If you're so inclined, go ahead and freehand it. Clean up the edges just a little bit here. Try to get your smaller ones, I think, for this outer edge. Yeah, these are really big. Big blueberries. I have a blueberry bush, several of them, and I have a blackberry, nice, great big blackberry bush. They're trying real hard to produce the fruit. I haven't seen anything just yet. And I do have to watch my birds in the area that they don't get there before I have a chance to enjoy the fruit. Get some more smaller blueberries here. I think you get the general idea. It's a huge one, but we'll go ahead and work with it. Just get them all on here, like I said, for my outline. Outline of it. Kind of hard to work with the whipped cream because it wants to just kind of sink into place, but that's all right. That's okay. Get them as close together as you can. And these little blueberries. Right now, I like the design, but I am going to fill this in. I just think it'll be better filled in. Okay, so now I'm going to take the pattern and lift it off. Get rid of it. Okay, so far, that's how it looks, which is fine, but I think we need to clean it up just a little bit here before I start trying to find some little tiny ones here. And so now I'm going to be putting more in the middle. however you want to do it. It's your trifle. Make it any way you want to. You don't have to be so precise with it. I guess you could just sprinkle them all on here. It's all still going to come out. I'm glad I bought the large container of the blueberries. And so what if they're big? Who cares? It's all going to go on here and look nice. So I think you get the general idea. Just fill in the whole star. The whole star. Now, if I was to take more of the raspberries, my raspberries, for the side, or you could take the strawberries. But I think, some of these darker ones down here, I think if I did take the raspberries on the side here, because like I said, we're just filling in all these little areas. Wipe off the whipped cream on the side if it overflows a little bit. And then you're going to want to pop this back in your refrigerator. And of course, let it thoroughly cool and set before you serve it to your pool party guests. To the pool party guests. And that's going to be my pretty little festive trifle. I will be going right into my next video showing what I call the watermelon sparkler. We'll call it that. Because it's going to come out looking like, remember when you used to do the fireworks in your driveway or backyard or wherever, and you had those sparklers that went around and around? Gosh, grew up with that. I really did. I don't even know if they still have them for kids. They've done away with so much. But we did. We had those, and we didn't have a lot of fireworks. Well, we had little ones that made little pops. But didn't matter where you were, as long as you had those boxes, long boxes of the sparklers. It was called sparklers, I'm pretty sure. And they were so much fun. Because you could write designs in the air, you know, and it was fun. It really was. Trying to get this kind of filled in as fast as I can here. I wanted to show you the final product. Some of those big ones. Because if I had just thrown them on here, the blueberries, I don't think you would have gotten the effect of having them hand placed on one at a time, like what I'm doing. Let's get some more fresh ones over here. Down to the bottom of that bowl, and it got kind of mushy. And go back with some really tiny ones and fill in the last little spot. And see, anybody could do this. Man, woman, or beast. Anybody can make a recipe and have fun with it. Be creative. Remember, I did the video about the masterpiece creation. Be as creative as you want. It's your kitchen, cook the way you want. Be as creative as you want. And this is certainly a fun project to do that. Just go with your own imagination of what you think you want on here, and it'll all come out. It will. If you want to use lighter ones on here, you can. I was trying to get some of those darker ones because they have such a good taste. They all do. They all have a good taste. It's just something about the darker ones. See think my cough is coming back. Has not been good. Okay. And then I saved, you're wondering what she saved that last strawberry for. It's like the cherry on top. I'll just put the strawberry on top. And there, folks, here's your nice holiday treat of the fruit trifle, as it's called. And I think you'll be pleased if you make one for any holiday, or especially this one. I hope Christina and Trevor enjoy this. And I'm gonna put some saran wrap on it, stick it in my freezer, and have it get refrigerator. See, doing it again. And get nice and cold. I'll go to my second part, or I'll do a whole nother video. It depends. I think I'm gonna rest for a few minutes before I start in on the watermelon one. But that's it for today. From my kitchen to yours. Happy 4th of July.